YouTube channel. As for today, we are going to discuss with the topic about the strange hold on religious life in China under Xi Jinping, mainly focused on the repression against minorities. Okay, for the abstract, the present paper is an exploration of the complexities of religious revival and repression in China today, as well as their recent development and wider reformation through content analysis of compilation of material from many publications. This paper focuses on China's continuum of persecution towards minority communities that together account for over 350 million believers. The country recognizes religion as such as Buddhism, China's anti-Tibetan, Taoism, Catholicism, Protestantism, and Islam, as well as Falun Gong, the largest of several banned Qigong practices, new religious movement, and quasi-Christian sects. Okay, as for the introduction, the level of religious freedom or conviction in China is declining quickly and substantially. There are visible signs of this, such as the government demolishing temples, mosques, and churches, and banning religious icons and images from homes and places of worship. This downward trend fits in with a wider pattern of growing human rights abuse under Xi Jinping, followed and illustrated by a decreased room for a civil society, heightened vulnerability to potential threats to party law, and the implementation of the legislation that curtails civil and political freedoms in the name of national security. Okay, let's move forward to the next slide. Okay, before we start, we are going to look about the background of Xi Jinping. He spent substantial amount of this time studying Marxist, Leninist, Mao Zedong talk and the virtue of the People Liberation Army, while at the same time doing farm work in the fields near the university. At the age of 26, he commenced his 30-year ascent through the party and government ranks, serving in the country municipal and provincial leadership roles in wealthier and growing eastern provinces of China. By 2007, he became the party chief of Shanghai, a posting that traditionally means a national level appointment is in the offing. In early 2013, he assumed the title of president, thus fully confirmed his status as paramount Chinese leader just shy of his 60th birthday. Okay, for the Chinese Communist Party, which known as the CCP, pillars of law that guide the CCP is first opportunistic exploitation, where the benefit of religion are to be exploited to advance border of CCP, economic, political, cultural, and foreign policy goals. Secondly, rule by law, where legal and bureaucratic instruments are to be developed to control religious practice and institutions which guide and educate the religious circle and its followers. Thirdly, targeted eradication, that means fiercely suppressing religious groups, beliefs, and individuals that are considered to threaten party rule or political priorities, often by illegal and unconstitutional means. Lastly, long-term expiation, in which steps are taken to curtail the proliferation of faith and promote its disappearance by future generations. As depicted on the slideshow, you can see that China religious communities, these are the range of religious persecution that happen in that territory. So the first one is stated about the range and religious. As you can see in the slide, these are what have been considered as the place under Xi Jinping. So, increasing of religious persecution in China across faith communities. First, the local authorities have exaggerated efforts to curb the spread of Christianity among qualified rhetoric about the threat of Western values and the need to sinicize religion for the Protestant and Christian communities. Secondly, Uyghur Muslims are being controlled, and it has deepened and expanded in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, where majority of Uyghur Muslims reside, are particularly Muslim. On topics such as religious dress at the provincial and national rate, Uyghur Muslim has experienced intensified restriction and Islamophobia since November 2012 due to growing public fear and danger of Islamist violence. Finally, President Xi Jinping has largely continued his presidential dictatorial policies and campaigns toward Tibetan Buddhists Hu Jintao, while ratcheting up and extending some controls. Conclusion: freedom of religion or belief in China is in substantial drop even in the time taken to write this paper. Here are some have been several new cases of incarceration, imprisonment, and persecution of religious belief.